Howdy friends, welcome back to our Growing Garden, the podcast where we hang out, chat about life, and grow a little bit more together. Okay, hopefully this records nicely. I'm having a little bit of a featured guest, if you will, of my upstairs neighbors. Anyway, howdy friends, welcome back to our Growing Garden, the podcast where we hang out, chat about life, and grow a little bit more together. I'm so happy to be here again. This is episode 2. I hope y'all are also happy to be here as well. I am hoping the longer I do this, the easier this will feel, because right now, let me tell you, I'm having a lot of fun with this. And I really feel like it's helping me maintain the mindset that I want to have. But I'm kind of stressed. I keep having this horrible reoccurring thought of what if only 2 months in, 8 episodes, I've completely run out of ideas on what to talk about and what to do for any episode. So I'm trying to ignore that lingering thought and push it out of my mind and remind myself the universe itself is infinite. There's a million things we could probably talk about. I just got to get into the groove and get used to kind of thinking this way, which is kind of a new way for me to be thinking. And hopefully it'll just become natural eventually. But obviously easier said than done. I am going to start off with our gratitude of the week. I was kind of thinking it might be cute since our theme is our growing garden. We are the flowers or the herbs or whatever you see yourself as in the garden that are growing. And what do you need for a plant to grow? You need sunlight, water, probably a million other things. But those are the main two. You need sunlight and water. And I was like, oh, how do I turn I want to make them themed. I want to make them themed so bad. So I'm thinking gratitude is shining, we're shining a light on something we're grateful this week. And maybe I'm going to try to come up with something for the weekly highlight. Maybe we'll do something for water. I haven't thought of that yet. But let's shine a light on some gratitude this week. My gratitude is kind of an unusual one this time. It's not a very typical happy thing. I am grateful for my growth in communication and acceptance of my feelings. I have had 2 really rough encounters this week at work. And while it's been a while since I felt sincerely anxious, anxious where my body is physically shaking, but unfortunately that happened at work twice this week. I won't get into the details for privacy reasons about keeping my job private and respect for the people who were involved in the situation. But to give you the story on it, I had a conversation with some guests that was a little bit more intense than a regular conversation should be. Even though tempers were high from the guests that I was speaking to, I am really proud of myself that I maintained respect for them and respect for myself. I set my boundaries very clearly when I was speaking with them. When they began to curse at me, I politely said that if they were gonna disrespect me, then we're not gonna keep having a conversation. At some point, we kept kind of talking in circles, they would ask me, well, why can't we do this? Why can't I do this? When I'm replying with, well, these are our rules. This is why. And it just being met with them asking again, Well, why do I have to follow those rules? Why are they rules? That doesn't make sense. And honestly, it was getting really frustrating. And it was just a pointless loop we were stuck in the conversation. And I pointed out to them, I blatantly said, we're not really getting anywhere with this. I want to help you, but what is it that you're hoping to get from this situation? What is it that you actually want? Just being direct and clear, trying to help de-escalate the situation and look at it from the perspective of finding a solution. I don't know. I think a few years ago I would not have been able to do that. I think I would have gotten stuck in their loop. I would have just gotten, steamrolled, maybe that's the word, by them, and not stood up for myself and not been productive in the conversation. So I am happy about that. I'm not happy about the results of the interaction, but we can't really control the way others respond to us. We can't force anyone to be kind to us. We can't force anybody to respect us. But we can state our boundaries, be respectful to others, and hope that they'll reflect that. And it was a good opportunity for me to be reminded not to be embarrassed when somebody's unacceptable behavior makes me feel anxious or causes me anxiety. It's not on me to feel shame for my reaction to their mannerisms when their manners are not present. And honestly, it kind of ended for me. I openly told them that they were making me feel incredibly anxious, and I would have to have somebody else come over and continue helping them going forward, because there was nothing else that I could do that I haven't already done. Yeah, I know it's kind of weird to be grateful for such a horrible interaction, but it really was just a moment for me to see in a safe environment the growth that I've had with my anxiety and my fear and a lot of other things that I've been to therapy for. And I don't know, I was just kind of proud of myself. Also, I did not know this until now. Maybe this is part of being old now, I feel like. When you get anxious, when you literally feel a surge of anxiety, your stomach will produce more acid than necessary and give you the worst tummy ache. I did not know that was a real thing. I thought I ate some spicy food for breakfast, and I decided to Google that feeling after work just to find out, yep, it is totally a thing when you're anxious to get a tummy ache for real. Craziest thing. I don't know. As well, also, I'm really happy that other than me bringing it up in this podcast situation, I was over the interaction quicker than I thought I would be. I think it's particularly because I tried my best in the interaction and I reacted the way I wanted to with respect and transparency. So, like, as wild as it was and as anxious as it, like, physically made me, it was not that bad. I didn't feel the need to keep talking about it. And I feel like normally I would feel the need to tell every single person I saw every single detail of that interaction. So that is where my gratefulness comes from for this week. All right. So for this week, on the things you wish your mom taught you, I'm going to be discussing beauty in the everyday, finding beauty in the mundane. I want to start by sharing this quote from 𝑦𝒐𝒂𝒍 on Instagram. Life is better when you find beauty in the ordinary. When you take the time to look, there is always something beautiful to be seen. Sometimes we can hear this being presented as romanticizing something or romanticizing a chore or an action. Take time to see the small details in your life as beautiful. There are so many small gifts for us if we open our eyes, calm our minds, and allow them to be seen. Even on days when nothing spectacular happens, we can still appreciate the moments that we get to rest and recharge, the peace and quiet that our home gives us, and the way it calms our body, mind, and soul. When you take time to appreciate moments like this, moments where nothing really happens, you open yourself to having good things in your life every day. Every small detail that you can see and observe will add up to what makes our world so beautiful and precious. In the mornings, we are gifted with the beautiful sight of the sun rising to start the day, to see the way the sun reflects off the morning dew resting on the leaves of the trees, the flowers in our garden, and the blades of grass outside. We wake up in a comfy and warm bed that feels perfectly made just for us. It's essential for your mind to allow yourself to feel and really soak in these moments of peace and be grateful for the comfort and beauty of our environment. Sorry, I did not drink my tea this morning, and I feel like you can hear it in my voice now. Taking the time to observe the beauty that nature gifts us with also is a mood booster, and it reduces your stress as well. You can find beauty in other ways as well. Maybe you'll see your favorite bird while you're going out for your daily walk. Or it's the day of the week that your favorite TV show releases a new episode. You can even appreciate things as simple as lighting a candle, having that lovely cozy scent in your home, maybe taking a bath and feeling your muscles relax and your mind unwind. Spending time being mindful and noticing these things, these feelings, and carving out a space to appreciate the beauty of these moments really fosters a healthier mindset. It keeps you grounded in your present environment. I feel like we can often find ourselves feeling outside of ourselves and our surroundings. We get caught up in thinking about the future and feeling anxious about it, focusing on tasks that we need to complete still, places that we have to go to later, tasks at work, chores that you still have not done. All of these worries just stack up to create that feeling of stress, and they take us away from our present self. We are gifted with so many moments of peace and beauty if we simply take the time to look for it. I'm gonna ask you to do some things here to try to ground yourself in your moment and find something beautiful. So while you're listening to this, take a second and look around your environment. What do you see? Do you smell something or feel something maybe that brings peace to your mind? I'll give you a second. Do you have maybe a candle nearby that you could light and enjoy that? Maybe there's a soft blanket on the couch next to you can wrap yourself up in while you listen to this. I'm curious, is there any decorations that you have hanging on the wall or on a shelf nearby that you're really pleased and grateful to have in your home? All of these little things that may seem insignificant when you're not paying attention are things that you can take a moment to be grateful for and to let bring you joy. The items that we own don't have to only serve us happiness in the moment that we receive them or we buy them. You can take time to appreciate what you have anytime you feel called to. It's not always about having more and more of something. Take time to take in what you already have and to be excited by it again. Really silly for me, but I love Pokemon cards. And I am constantly plagued by the idea that I need to buy another pack, and get new Pokemon cards. And at this point, honestly, I have so many, I have forgotten which ones I have, and I haven't taken time to appreciate them. So instead of going out and buying a new one, I'll go to my card binder and I'll look through and taken the cards, and it feels brand new again. And I'm reminded that I am grateful for what I already have. Maybe you're not into Pokemon cards, but maybe you're happy about some artwork or a plant that you got, or maybe a new journal to write in. Just go back to the things that you haven't spent time on and appreciate them again. I also want to bring up the fact that there was a time in your life when you did not have those physical things. Maybe you hadn't bought that painting yet or that plant yet, and you were just as capable of being happy without it. It's not the items themselves necessarily that bring us the joy. It's taking that time to be grateful for them and acknowledging the feelings that they bring us. If you didn't have that painting, book, or album or whatever, you would still have something else that you would appreciate. You can even, I would say, maybe it's better to appreciate the abstract and not the physical items. You can appreciate the weather outside, how wonderful it feels to be outside. You can appreciate your pet, your cat, your dog, the moments that they spend with you, snuggled up in your lap or making muffins. The earth gives us wonderful beauty every single day. And we see a seamless sky of ombre colors every single sunset. When was the last time you got a chance to go outside and take that in and see that beauty? At night, we get the stars above us every night. The beauty of the universe is there. All of these moments in time, we get the chance to experience every day. And I think it's really important to take that time and experience those things and let that joy into our hearts. We aren't living our lives waiting for some great peak of happiness to happen. We are living to enjoy every moment that we can. It's not every day that you're going to win the lottery, nor would you expect to probably even win it in your lifetime. Every day is not filled with misery because you didn't win that lottery, or because you haven't gotten your dream job or car or dream house. We are given opportunities each day to experience something beautiful and to make space in our hearts and minds for that beauty. Every day, I think it's important to spend time with that and let it make a home inside of you. Negativity really has a unique way of digging its thorns into us and holding on tight. It can be so easy to hold it in your mind and your heart, the negativity from one moment in your day, and let it weigh you down all day. Sometimes it feels like your mind can't shake off this negative weight because it's just too heavy. When you do allow yourself to find beauty where you once were indifferent, you work on building a new way of thinking naturally in your mind. You begin to form those habits that can help lighten that weight. You don't have as much space in your mind for that negativity to live. I hope this is something that you can really take into a daily practice or even just a weekly practice. I hope it's something that can make your day-to-day life feel a little bit better. Next up, we are going to do our card pull. This is going to be again from the Work Your Light Oracle card deck. And the card that we have for today is the Age of Light. I actually pulled this my first time I used this deck. The Age of Light says you have been training for this for lifetimes. This is the card I pulled when I did my first pull, and I was just kind of asking for what the deck felt I needed to hear. I am going to read the description of this card for y'all. It says, mystics and sages throughout the ages have predicted this period in history, and you decided to incarnate in the middle of it. There is no mistake that you are supposed to be here at this time of great change. If you ever feel unprepared or daunted by the path that is calling you, know this. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You're way more than the days that you have breathed through this life. You're also all of the lifetimes that came before. All of these experiences have polished your soul into the most magnificent expression that is your authentic self. Your soul has many facets. Imagine a fingerprint. Your soul is 1,000,000 times more intricate than that. If you put together all of the fingerprints of all of the people you have been, you would not even get close to fathoming how much of a unique masterpiece you are. You came in with a clear soul plan. You came in with wisdom beyond your years. This is the part of you that longs to be seen. This is the part of you that is ready to step forward, that is ready to emerge. This is not the lifetime to stay hidden, but to step forth, be seen, and rise. I really hope that this card resonates with you, and that hopefully, as this podcast grows, it can be something that helps you feel that confidence to be your authentic self, to be the best version of you. And that since you're here, maybe you're ready to make that step. After all of this, I've been kind of wondering, and I kind of need y'all's opinion on this. I have my podcast listed under the self-improvement section because, that's kind of the overall goal, is to be a better version of yourself. However, we are working with the moon cycles for our journaling. We are doing card pulls, and I kind of wonder if it should be under spirituality or something like that. I'm not entirely sure how important the genres of podcasts are or where this podcast really lies yet, I guess. What do you think? Now we are going into our journaling segment and moon cycle segment. We are Thursday the 13th right now of November, and we have a beautiful waning crescent moon today. This calls on us to take time to focus on reflection, to think about what is no longer serving us. Since I released this just a week ago, we are still in the same cycle of waning. However, we are growing closer to that new moon, and we are in a crescent right now. As the moon begins to fade, so should we fade away the feelings that do not serve us. If you're holding on to feelings of anger or resentment, take this week to try to get rid of them, to try to fade them from your mind. If you're finding yourself tangled in a relationship that's toxic or doesn't serve you, begin detangling yourself from it this week. This is the time to shed old ideas and behaviors that you have. As the new moon comes for us to practice new ways of growing, we need to make space for those new ideas and feelings to grow. This is the perfect time to set some time aside and just to meditate, maybe even just daydream about letting go of what you no longer need, and picture yourself feeling lighter without it. Take time to be alone in nature and to appreciate the way it's changing with the seasons and how we are all interconnected. For our journal focus this week, I'm going to ask, what is something that you would like to give up? What is something that you would benefit from removing from your life? It can be anything from a bad habit, a feeling that you have, a person, or even an item. You don't need to think of something new every single day this week to remove from your life. We don't want to be crazy with it. We want to be mindful with it. Take this week to reflect on your daily life and think about what it is that you would like to get rid of. When you're ready, I would write it down in your journal. To give you some guidance or some ideas to use for inspiration, you could banish things like just negative thoughts that you have about yourself or others. Any negative thoughts that have been reoccurring. You could banish ex-partners, ex-roommates, maybe even fast food, the habit of buying fast food, biting your fingernails, anything is the correct answer. There's nothing too small or too silly that you can pick for this. If it's something that is bothering you, then that is the perfect thing for you to choose. Focus this week on removing that obstacle from your life. Whenever you find out what that obstacle is, write it down in your journal whenever you're ready. I am really glad that y'all spent this episode with me again. It means a lot. I didn't have that extra segment in here like I did last week where it was like hobbying. Let me know if you kind of missed that or if you want me to keep that in here. I'm still kind of figuring that out. If you got anything from this, if you enjoyed it at all, please rate, comment, or share with anyone you want to. I'm just starting off and I don't really have an audience yet, so I am hoping to grow one here with y'all. It would mean so much to me. You don't have to, but only if you want to. You can find this podcast on my YouTube channel where I post this over some sort of drawing or crafting video. If you're into that, it's also going to be on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You're probably already on one of those listening to this. But yeah, your feedback is super important to me, especially starting off. I would love to hear anything from you. And keep watering yourselves. You're still growing. I'll see you next week.